Hi, it's Dr. Spears with drpremed.com. I wanted to speak to you about how and why I can help you achieve your dreams of getting into medical school so you become a doctor. Now, here's the thing. I hate to start with numbers, but let's just be honest, let's be realistic about it. Getting into medical school is extremely competitive, where 60% of first-time applicants do not get into medical school, and I don't want that to happen to you. And I graduated from medical school. I helped a lot of people get into medical school, and I see applicants and pre-med students making the same mistakes year in, year out, and it's no wonder they're not getting in. You have to do things differently if you want to get into medical school when over 50% of you guys aren't going to get in. So look to your left and look to your right and just realize only one of you guys are going to get in, and I want that to be you. And I want you to do things differently. And why I mention this and why I bring this up is because here's what usually happens. Someone may reach out to me. They have a question about what they need to do to get into medical school. I'll give them some advice, and they'll decide, you know what, that might be a little too much work, or I'm going to do my own thing because I have a cousin who's in medical school, I have a relative who's a physician, and I can just ask them for advice. And that's fine and dandy, that's great. And then what happens though is several months down the line, in winter, I get an email or a phone call. Hey, Dr. Spears, I applied to medical school this year and I haven't gone in any interviews. I'm really concerned. What should I do? Should I contact schools, submit letters of intent? How do I do what I need to do to get into medical school? Because I really want to get in. And at that point, pretty much you're not going to get into medical school. I'm going to just be harsh. I'm going to be level with you guys. I don't tell the students that, but well, depending on their situation, because that's just sometimes what happens. But you want to be in a position where that's not you. You want to apply to medical school where you're the most competitive applicant, you have the strongest credentials and background possible when you apply, because you don't want to have to go through this process. Because if you ever are re-applying to medical school, people are going to know that. There's going to be a red flag. People are going to be like, okay, why are they reapplying? Obviously they weren't strong enough or compelling enough the first time around, so because might be like, you know what, we really don't want to take a risk or work with this person because all the other medical schools thought they weren't good enough to get in, so why should we buck the trend in that? And you don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen to you. And because I see all of this stuff happening, I see people doing things incorrectly, or they just don't know any better of what they should and shouldn't be doing for medical school, I actually have a program. Well, not really a program, but an elite concierge level coaching service to help you get through the medical school application process. I want you to avoid any pitfalls, avoid the common mistakes that applicants do that totally derails their chances of getting into medical school. That doesn't have to be you. And what I like to tell people is, yes, your MCAT's the #1 factor that goes into admissions decision. But then what also is factored in is your GPA. And here's what I like to say about your stats, your MCAT and GPA. Those are only to give you a fair look, because most schools, they actually use computers where they put in minimum cutoff scores, and if you don't meet that minimum requirement, your application is automatically rejected. No human, no one's going to take a look at anything else in your application. Your personal statement, your letters of recommendation, your extracurricular activities, that's all meaningless if you don't have the MCAT score and a GPA. So that's why you really need to come in with strong numbers in that level. But now here's the thing. The people who get into medical school, the well-qualified applicants, they're all going to have pretty much standard GPAs and MCAT scores. So now you have to start thinking, I'm a diamond in the rough pre-med. How do I distinguish myself? How do I stand out? How do I do things differently to improve my chance of getting into medical school? And a lot of you guys just don't know what to do. You're doing the same extracurricular activities. You're writing about the three most boring personal statement topics ever that we see year in and year out that does absolutely nothing to set you apart or move you forward in the medical school application process. But with my coaching program, that's absolutely going to change. Because what I like to tell students is, after your MCAT score and GPA, the most significant factor that's weighting whether you're going to get into medical school or not is your personal statement. Now, I have a special formula process to help you craft a compelling personal statement where your reader's going to read it and they're going to say, I want to meet this applicant. I want to meet this applicant in person, and they're going to grant you a medical school interview. And then from there, I'll even coach you on how you go through the medical school interview process so that you actually get your acceptance. This is just a small tidbit of the program that I have for you. It covers everything that you need to know to be successful in applying to medical school, being at pre-med, having everything working out in your favor, where you're not worried, where you're not thinking, what are my chances, or having to think of what's going to be plan B. Do I have to do a special master's program or any of that other stuff? No. You're going to get into medical school. You're going to be happy. You're going to have that white coat. You're going to have that stethoscope. Mom and dad's going to be so proud of you. You're going to be so excited that you're on your way to becoming a doctor. Now, obviously, with this coaching program, I can't help every single person who wants to get into medical school because there's only a limited number of spots. And why? Because I work directly with each of the students in this program. This isn't, I'm going to just hire out some other people and farm out the work from people who don't even know what it takes to get into medical school, who aren't medical students themselves, who aren't physicians themselves, have no clue what's going on. They read a book and now they think they're able to coach you on how to get into medical school. You don't want to risk all of that when there's so much on the line to where basically when you become a doctor or just getting into medical school is life-changing. You're going to be set for life. Your parents are going to be proud. They're going to be happy. You're going to be happy because medicine is a combination of science, working with people, intellectual curiosity, helping people, and you're going to be well compensated for the work that you do, and you're always going to have job security and whatever else things you're looking for. You can basically do whatever you want in medicine. But as one of the physicians told me during my third year of medical school, the hardest part of medical school is getting in. So if you need help, you're looking for a way to really give yourself a competitive advantage in a legal, ethical manner that's really going to help you tell your unique story of why medicine, why you should have the privilege to be able to practice medicine and get into medical school, then you really need to visit me at drpremed.com and see if it makes sense for you to learn more about this program and get the help that you need so that you become a doctor. You get into medical school, and in 4 short years you graduate and you're a physician. Now, let's get moving on this because I'm looking forward to helping you, future doctor.